Today, I want to tell you about a very successful story with Devin. So, a customer had a request, and where they were suggesting us to use a SonarQube API to make their setup a little bit easier. And of course, this was unplanned work. It came from our customer success team. So while I was working on something else, right there from Slack, I pinged Devin and I told Devin to point me to the relevant documentation because I wanted to understand the level of support of this API and its availability on Sonar Cloud versus SonarQube. So I just kept doing my work, and while I was working, Devin went off and started checking the documentation and the current implementation that we had to see how that new API could be incorporated into our solution. It was able to discover by itself that the API is available in SonarQube and not in Sonar Cloud. It shows me what the customer should do on their side for this API to work. And then after a while, I come back from what I was doing to check on Devin. So the plan, the idea kind of looked okay. I told Devin to propose an implementation. And this was really interesting. This is something I tried for the first time. I told Devin to ask me questions if they had to make any important decisions instead of just assuming stuff. So it comes up with a plan. It asks me a couple of follow-up questions here. I respond to those at 12:39 p.m. At 12:40, it shows me the plan, and it also shows me a PR, which I checked. It looked pretty sane, and I actually just built the image locally in my machine, tried it, the changes worked perfectly. I made a couple of tiny cleanups, and after a couple of hours, without disrupting my normal work, we were able to ship this and make the customer really happy.